Hello and thank you for joining us. This is the news on NT International. I am Charles Alpha. But first, let's begin with some of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu, in company of First Lady Oluremi Tinubu and other party members, participate at the APC presidential primary elections held across the country. The World Health Organization raises alarm on the risk of Ebola outbreak from high to very high in Democratic Republic of Congo as Ghana, Abuja, and Turkey hold joint business forum. And Senegal's political breakdown, Faye sacks Sonko and dissolves government. Now, President Bola Tinubu and First Lady Oluremi Tinubu today join other party members to participate at the APC presidential primary election at Ward L2 Ikoyi. State House correspondent Musbauden Wahab reports.
Thank you, Studio. Yes, it turned out to be a big day for the All Progressives Congress. APC members in Ikoyi, particularly at Ward 4, where President Bola Tinubu and his First Lady Oluremi Tinubu participated at the direct presidential primary election of the party. Hitherto, the president has always been participating from Ikeja Ward, while his wife, Oluremi, has been participating right from Faloma, although in Ikoyi too. But now, all of them are moving closer to their residence here in Ikoyi. And the APC members here turned out massively to participate, as led by the governor of the state himself, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who also came to that ward to witness the process. For them, it's a big day, big swell for their ward as the president came to join them. Let's take a listen to some of them who express excitement at this addition.
This is an August visitor because this is the first time he's coming to be with us.
We announced that with a total number of votes of 4,966, we declare Bola Ahmed Tinubu the winner of Ward L2, Ikoyi Obalende LCD.
So after witnessing the whole process, President Bola Tinubu spoke to us and expressed satisfaction with the process, particularly the way and manner that governors across the state have also handled the process. Let's take a listen to the president.
Demonstration of internal democracy, and it has been going very well according to plan. This is politics, grassroots politics, where every member of the party has a right to participate and be involved. It's to ensure that we have an internal democracy and it's peaceful and well organized.
Your Excellency, you gave the state governors the permission to go ahead and organize an acceptable primaries across the country. Are you satisfied with the process so far?
Today, I am very satisfied, very, very satisfied that these governors, they've done well in their various states. To far from the world congresses to local government congresses to the delegate accreditation, validation, members register, and certification of the electoral process. It has been on very well. At least you will score democracy at a high level.
Are showing massive support for you, Mr. President. What do you say to them?
I'm just excited. They challenge me more.
Yes, the party causes primary election, but some analysts have tagged it differently, calling it just a coronation for President Bola Tinubu because there's no any too big a challenger for him in this process, but ultimately we shall wait for the final result that will be declared from the main collation center in Abuja. It's back to you.
All right, thank you, Musbah, for reporting, and we'll take you now outside the shores of Nigeria. Tens of thousands of people have been ordered to leave their homes in California after a huge chemical tank leak with warnings it might blow up, sending toxic fumes over a heavily populated area. And SpaceX Starship spacecraft splashed down into the Indian Ocean after performing what many described as the most successful test flight of the latest version of its enormous rocket.
4, 3, ignition.
The voyage was not without a few glitches, but SpaceX employees shown on a live stream roared in delight following the trial flight that comes as the firm prepares an initial public offer. The mammoth rocket blasted off into space at just after 5:30 p.m. local time. The spacecraft report said it did not intend to recover the booster or the upper stage, and the final splashdown was fiery but controlled. As planned, SpaceX primarily aimed to demonstrate its redesign in flight. The third-generation Starship spacecraft carried out a maneuver that saw it flip upright and reignite its engines for control, despite one being out of commission. It also deployed its 22 mock satellites, including 2 that attempted a photograph. The vehicle, reports also said, had coasted through space but was not in the correct orbit after one of its engine malfunctioned during an initial burn. The booster fell swiftly back to Earth, uncontrolled, into the Gulf of Mexico. In other news, tens of thousands of people have been ordered to leave their homes in California after a huge chemical tank began leaking with warnings it might blow up, sending toxic fumes over a heavily populated area. The tank contained 7,000 gallons of methyl methacrylate, a volatile and flammable liquid used to make plastics, with firefighters warning the situation was looking grim.
Videos of tank cars on a railroad track blowing up, and that fireball it puts out, and it blows half the tank car a half a mile down the train track. That's the incident potential we are dealing with if this suffers a catastrophic failure. That's why, in an abundance of caution, we have reissued the evacuation.
The incident was unfolding in the Garden Grove area of Orange County, southeast of Los Angeles. About 40,000 people were affected by the evacuation order, with several thousands refusing to leave their homes. Area footage filmed by local TV station showed jets of water being sprayed at the tank, which has a capacity of 34,000 gallons. The World Health Organization has raised the risk of Ebola outbreak from high to very high in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And Ghana, Azerbaijan and Turkey held joint business forum tagged African-Azerbaijan Cooperation Organization. The WHO boss Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus in an update said 82 cases had so far been confirmed in the country, with 7 confirmed deaths. He said the epidemic in the DRC is much larger, saying that there were around 750 suspected cases and 177 suspected deaths.
Previously, WHO assessed the risk as high at the national and regional levels and low at global levels. We're now revising our risk assessment to very high at the national level, high at the regional level.
The Director General said the global risks from the disease remained low. The outbreak was caused by the Bundibugyo virus, which has no proven vaccine. It has also spread into neighboring Uganda, where 2 cases have been confirmed and 1 death. A U.S. national who had been working in the DRC, reports say has been confirmed to have contracted the disease and was transferred to Charity Hospital in Berlin for treatment earlier this week. The hospital said on Friday that the man was severely weakened but was not critically ill. Tedros said the WHO was also aware of reports that another U.S. national deemed to be high-risk contact had been transferred to the Czech Republic. And in Netherlands, Radboud University Hospital said on Friday that it had admitted a patient with a low suspicion of Ebola and had put them in isolation pending the result of diagnostic tests. Ebola is a severe and deadly illness first identified in 1976. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, up to 90% of cases of Ebola are fatal. Symptoms can include fever, weakness, diarrhea, and vomiting. Still in Africa, a business mission from Azerbaijan to Ghana on the African-Azerbaijan Cooperation Organization has begun. Local media cited the program of the visit to include the trilateral business forum involving Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Ghana, as well as business-to-business and business-to-government meetings. Participants are also expected to visit local enterprises to get acquainted with their operations. Reports said trade between Azerbaijan and Ghana saw a sharper contraction over the same period, declining by 97% or $278,560 to just $5,810. Meanwhile, figures from the Turkish Exporters Assembly show that Turkey's export to Ghana also fell by 2.1% year-on-year in January to April, totaling $139,576. On Friday, 22nd May 2026, Senegal entered a new phase of political uncertainty after President Bassirou Diomaye Faye dismissed Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko and dissolved the entire cabinet by presidential decree. The announcement was made on state broadcast RTS by Omar Samba Ba, Secretary General of the Presidency. The decree ended the functions of Sonko and all ministers, with outgoing officials instructed to manage current affairs until a new government is named. A partnership that unraveled Faye and Sonko were the driving force behind Pastor's rise and their 2024 election victory. Sonko barred from running due to a defamation conviction backed Faye's candidacy and became Prime Minister once Faye won. For over a year, they governed as a dual leadership team, presenting a united front against the old political establishment. A court in Portugal has this Saturday remanded in custody a French woman and her partner accused of abandoning her two young boys, aged 4 and 5, on a roadside in south of the country. The court in the port city of Setúbal ordered the 41-year-old woman and the 55-year-old man to be placed in pre-trial detention for the crimes of aggravated assault, endangerment and abandonment of the boys after a two-day hearing. The case has drawn widespread attention in Portugal and France since the two boys, ages 4 and 5, were found on the evening of the May crime beside a road south of Lisbon. They had been left with backpacks containing food and water, but no identity documents, according to Portuguese media. Now, the Joint Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Hajj Pilgrimage has lauded the ongoing arrangements put in place by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and urged the Commission not to relent in meeting with the Herculean tasks that lie ahead. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The Joint Committee, which began its legislative oversight from Medina, were received and briefed on arrival by officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON. led by its chairman and senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume, had interaction with some pilgrims on areas concerning an enlightenment on Hajj rights and promised to liaise with NACON to reach out to states affected.
This year, alhamdulillah, is better than last year, and the credit goes to the team. We have been part of this system for a long time. There is improvement in coordination, cooperation, and synergy. And as you can see, we too in the National Assembly were doing the same. Last year, the National Assembly House of Rep came differently and we came. So we tried to reduce that in order to create more efficiency in terms of doing something.
Meanwhile, NACON has been consistent in the deployment of Islamic scholars to various lodges across the holy city of Mecca to educate them on what they should know about Hajj rites at Mashahir.
They have tried their best in terms of sensitizations to educate us on the duties that the pilgrims need to do.
We have learned a lot of things about Hajj rites before we arrive in Mecca here. But you have to be reminded, you have to be given proper guidance.
The pilgrims appreciated NACON and said they are now spiritually prepared to perform Hajj rites in the coming days, while pledging to put the nation first in prayers during worship at all the sacred places. From Mecca, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
You're still watching the news on NTA International. We take a break now. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. The First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says the society must act urgently to end child marriage and invest needed resources to empower girls through education. This is contained in her message marking the 2026 International Day to End Obstetric Fistula, as she joined the global community to reaffirm that no woman or girl child suffer from a condition that is entirely preventable and treatable. While describing the theme of the celebration, her health, her rights, shaping a future without fistula, as a reminder that access to quality maternal health care is a right, the First Lady intensified early marriage and early pregnancy as major causes of obstetric fistula. Scale down, she notes the need for the society to work together in addressing harmful traditional practices and lack of awareness that limits access to skilled care and vital health information. Participants are the latest phase of capacity development and in-person training for the preparation of the Nigeria's climate reports to the United Nations, the National Council on Climate Change, with support from the UNDP, have expressed confidence in their ability to collect and analyze data on greenhouse gas emissions, adaptation and mitigation as this round of exercise comes to an end in Lagos. The training brought together participants from the North Central, Northeast and Northwest states, following earlier sessions held for other geopolitical zones. Participants were taken through practical sessions on the use of data templates, reporting tools and methodologies required for the preparation of the accurate and comprehensive climate reports in line with international standards.
We thought we knew what we're doing, but with this expose now, we find out a lot of us have fallen short.
The data that we have been collected, these templates serve as a roadmap for us.
I believe from what you are seeing with the DEX officers, you will see improvement in the next submission.
They lauded the National Council on Climate Change and the UNDP for the hands-on training and capacity development, saying that the engagement has strengthened their understanding of data gathering, validation and analysis across key sectors.
It is the quality of information that is going to be improved, because there has not been any quality control done on the information that they have provided.
We are looking at the data that they have collected and how they can improve it and refine it to make it transparent and appropriate for reporting.
It's important for them to go back to their various locations, look at these issues and the gaps identified by the international consultants. Those gaps, they try to see how they can address them and send them back.
They also expressed confidence that the knowledge acquired will further improve coordination among relevant MDAs and institutions, while ensuring more reliable data management processes for greenhouse gas inventories, adaptation measures, and mitigation activities across the country. Charles Alf. The Department of State Service, under the leadership of Mr. Oluwatosin Ajayi, has released a young man, Mr. Yo Mohammed, from Gashua Town, Badi local government area, Yobe State, after investigation established that he was not connected to any wrongdoing, and in a rare humanitarian gesture provided him with 2 million naira to support his reintegration into the society. The special advisor on security matters to Yobe State Governor, Brigadier General Dahiru Absalam, retired to disclose the development during a visit to the DSS Yobe State Command headquarters in Damaturu. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, says it will sustain continuous surveillance, intensify inspections and enforcement raids, as well as strengthen collaboration with local and international partners to ensure that Nigeria does not become a safe haven for unscrupulous importers and manufacturers of counterfeit products. This was part of the message by the Director General of the agency during a special destruction exercise of fake and substandard products worth billions of naira. Herman Jabane reports.
The expired and unwholesome products were voluntarily handed over for destruction by concerned companies, NGOs, and the Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, among others. This highlights the importance mop up substandard, falsified, expired, and unwholesome regulated products from the supply chain. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Modishola Ideye, who was represented, says the exercise demonstrates the agency's unwavering commitment to safeguarding public health.
For the naysayers who always believe that once a product is seized, it must find its way back to the system, we are showing them here that it's not like that in NAFDAC. We got convictions where some people were sentenced to 40 years imprisonment for these things. And these are part of the things we're going to be showcasing so that people will answer these questions, that people are being punished. And so many investigations are going on as I speak.
Some stakeholders at the destruction site commended NAFDAC for its commitment and assured the agency of continued partnership.
Customs usually are the first to examine goods coming in the ports and the border stations. Such goods, when encountered, are usually given to NAFDAC as a collaboration.
This is a very important step in addressing public health challenges in our country.
The agency is also strengthening its enforcement strategies to track and seize substandard products and prosecute offenders, while working with lawmakers to amend the NAFDAC Act to enforce firmer penalties to frustrate counterfeiters. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
National Working Committee of the Labour Party says its logo represents a philosophy that attracts family goodwill, which will translate to votes in any election, while screening presidential and other aspirants at the National Secretariat. The party promised to continually stand in defense of the masses by sponsoring people who have what it takes to provide good leadership. National Chairman of the party, Senator Nadi Usman, described the alleged distribution of nomination forms to Nigerians to run for the 2027 general elections, describing as impersonation.
Groups, key persons in the obedient movement who believe in Labour Party. They believe in Mama, Papa, Pekin. They believe in the ideology of the Labour Party. And what is that ideology? Social justice, equal opportunities. So when you believe in that, it's not easy for you to leave the Labour Party for another political party.
Of the aspirant pledged their commitment to the tenets of the party, expressing their capacity to win at the general election.
we are not afraid to build again. Okay? The same methods, principles, ideologies that we used to build. I mentioned inside there now that there are over 20 million new children, new kids that have just become 18 and above since 2023 to date. We go after them and grow another new movement. It's called the Movement Nigeria, and it is growing.
I strongly believe God that He can as well use me to create a very sustainable, enviable, and encouraging economy that every Nigerian will be proud of is a Nigerian.
And that concludes the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Charles Alpha.